Today I'm going to share a very special article with everybody. Okay? But before we get started, I have a question to ask you. Do you remember what's the topic of my first presentation? No. Nobody remember, right? Right? This is the first topic we talk about. The role of teachers in reducing or increasing the test anxiety in class. And this is the reason why I choose today's topic as my second presentation. So the topic is sources and suggestions to lower listening comprehension anxiety in class. Okay. And this article is from the journal English Language Teaching, published in 2012. Okay. And today in my presentation, we're talking about these 6 contents, these 6 sessions. So for the first session, we're talking about the background, the purpose of study, and researcher questions. So background. Many studies already tell us that anxiety is something that directly undermines the motivation and have a negative effective response to the foreign language learning. Okay, so based on this reason, the author want to find out the sources, okay, of the anxiety. Why do students feel anxious in the class? And what is the suggestion? What can we do to help the students in the class? Okay, so based on the purpose, 3 questions are set up in this study. First, are the learners experienced or teacher observing the listening comprehension anxieties? Second, if they are, so what makes students feel anxious while participating in the class? And number 3 is, as being a teacher, what kind of exercise, setting, or activities that we can do to help to lower the anxiety triggers in their class? Okay. So before we get started, we have to talk about literature review. So in 1992, okay, so Scarsella and Oxford, they talked about that. When teachers and when students, okay, they feel they are facing very difficult or unfamiliar tasks, they will feel anxious. This is what they say. And in 1986, journals tell us that the negative listening self-concept also can arise in listening anxiety during the listening process. Okay, so this part is the most important. We are going to talk about the methodology of the study. So first is the participant. Second is the instrument. And then is the procedure. The last part is the data analysis. Okay, for participants, 6 students from the course, listening and speaking skills were recruited to join this study. Okay, and also 3/4 teachers who are teaching courses in a different department store also participated in this study too. And the number of teachers is around 60 as well. Okay, and this one, the author collect all the data via 2 instruments. First one is the classroom observation. Second part is the questionnaire from teachers, for teachers and for both students. Okay, here is one example for teachers to answer. So you guys can take a look at it. Do learners ever feel sad, unhappy, or depressed? Have you noticed that your students have this kind of feeling in the class? Probably yes, but you don't know. But I do. I know that my students feel anxious in my class all the time. The second one, for students to answer. Do you feel listening comprehension anxiety in the classroom? This is the question what I asked in the first presentation. Everybody said yes, 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 yes. Right. Everybody explained this time. Okay, and that's why we were talking about the procedure of the study. Okay, first, before the actual data collection, a prior study was conducted to test the validity of the questionnaire in order to get the data, including the feedback and the suggestions from the participants. Okay, and after that, 2 questionnaires was given to teachers and the student. At the same time, the author had some classroom observation in the course, speaking and listening skill. In this course, they have an observation about that, and last part is the data collection. Okay, and analysis of the data. Okay, this data come from these 2 ways. First is the participants' response. Okay, about the sources of the listening comprehension anxiety, and second part is about the suggestions for reducing the listening comprehension anxiety. Okay, so we can get a finding from these 2 parts. First part from the classroom observation. Second part from the questionnaires. So after reading the data, okay, from the questionnaires, all the sources can be categorized into 3 following sessions. First one is the anxiety associated with the triggers of the teachers or the nurse. Second part is about their material process in the class. And then number 3 is other aspects. Okay, and so let's talk about the first one, from the classroom observation. This author take a lot of suggestions, or they found out why students feel anxious in the class. And I just choose 4 to show you, okay? And take number 3 and number 4 for example. Learners want to understand every single difficult words of the listening comprehension. That means when students try to understand every single word, if they don't understand that, they feel anxious immediately, and they will cause their poor performance on the test. And also they learn. If they don't like the environment, they don't enjoy that, they will feel anxious too. Okay? So based on this finding, we can answer the first question. Are the learners experiencing or the teacher observing the listening comprehension anxiety? I believe the answer is yes, right? And of all the participants, no one has reported that he or she does not experience the listening comprehension anxiety. That means everybody does. Okay? And second, so now we know that everybody experiences that. So, what makes students anxious? You might ask, what makes students anxious? Okay? So we have a basic three sources from teachers and learners. Second part is about the materials and process. And the last part is the other aspects. Okay, so from the questionnaires, you can see that. Okay, this is the anxiety associated with two groups of the teachers and learners. And take fear, for example. Fear means students feel a fear. It means that they are afraid. They are so afraid to make a mistake. So of course, this will cause their anxious. Okay. And the second part is the instructor's personality. What does that mean? It means when the teacher has a very high expectation for the students will feel more anxious too. So if everything can go very well with the student, but at the same time, students feel pressure. Okay? And the second part is about the materials and the process. Take a look at the nature of speech, because a lot of participants shows that when the too fast speech, listening comprehension, they will cause the most anxiety. So I want to ask now, am I causing a lot of anxiety now? Am I? Yes, because I'm very fast. And about others aspects, okay? Because being a teacher, maybe you can create, okay? So you can see that uncomfortable environments and the poor quality in equipment can cause the anxieties in the class too, okay? So now we understand the sources of anxiety. So it's time to answer the question 3. So what kind of exercise, setting, or activities help to lower this anxiety in the class? Okay, so also, we got 3 suggestions based on learners. Okay, first is the learners. So as being the teacher, what should we do? We have to be understanding and sensitive to teachers' fear. What does that mean? We have to understand what the students are facing right now, what kind of difficulty they're facing right now. What can we do to help them? Try to reduce the negative label to them. What can we do? Okay? And the second part, for the material in the process, maybe you can teach students to take the notes when they have the listening comprehension test. Or, if that's possible, teachers have to repeat the passages, okay, as many as you can, until a student can understand what you're talking about. Okay? And for other aspects, the same. Just like last time, Nikki shared her presentation with us, it says that create outdoor class opportunity, right? By creating some kind of these kind of activities, maybe can help them to improve their listening ability, and at the same time can reduce their anxiety level. Okay, and the last part is the reflection. Okay. So I told you that why I choose this article, because this article is really made me think about a lot by myself. So the first one, what's the target of being an English teacher? For the past years, I already told myself I have to teach students good behavior, good performance, I push them to study, try everything I can. Okay. But I think I do really miss and ignore something. They are facing some kind of difficulty, but I didn't face it. I didn't help them to try it out. Okay, so a lot of students give up. Okay, so this made me think about that. And the second one is, what can I do in the future? Based on this study, it offers a lot of suggestions to help lower students' anxiety. So I think I will make good use into my class and try to help students can learn in a better way, in a healthy way, or happy way. This is what I think about this study. And the last part, thank you. This is the end of my presentation. Thanks.
Very good.